Hey everyone, and welcome to another edition of Burton Ballers. And after a few days off, I'm back to give you my preview for our upcoming game against Crystal Palace. Welcome to the Burton Ballers. Ain't got no time for no stallers, yeah.
We are the risers, we're not the fallers. Our channel is growing wider and taller.
Yeah, we're here to give you the news about your dear beloved Blues, yeah.
So if you like this YouTube channel, like, subscribe and turn on that bell.
Yeah. Yeah, so I decided to take a few days off all social media, really. I was looking at some bits on Twitter, but I didn't really go onto any spaces. I haven't made any videos. It's, because it's just there were some stories, but nothing I really wanted to report about. And it just feels like I just don't like this international break, and it's like Chelsea haven't played for ages. It's like coming back to pre-season again. It's 3 weeks of no league football. Yeah, that's crazy. So we're back, and we got a game against Crystal Palace, and so I'm going to just talk a little bit about Crystal Palace. This is Graham Potter's first league game in charge of Chelsea. It seems like he's been here for ages, but this is his first league game. He kicked off in the Champions League, but now he's got the league match against Crystal Palace. So it'll be interesting to see how he fares against Crystal Palace. So let's get into our 4 facts about Chelsea against Crystal Palace. So fact 1, Chelsea's biggest win against Crystal Palace, as it was 6-2, and this came in the 1997-98 season, and I think it was 2 goals from Gianluca Vialli, 2 from Tore Andre Flo, and I think it was Zola and Dennis Wise who scored the other 2 goals in the 6-2 thrashing. So, fact 2, Palace have never scored more than 2 goals against Chelsea in a league match. Can you believe that? The only time they've ever scored 3 goals in a game against Chelsea was in the League Cup, and that was in 1992-93. And I remember that game. I was there standing in the away end in a pouring rain, and I think that's when Frank Sinclair did that back pass which got stuck in the mud. And I think, who was it? The Welsh guy who's that Welsh guy who used to manage Fulham and Wales? His name escapes me now, but he capitalised and scored a goal against us. And we played well in that game, actually. We played really well, but we were very unlucky, and we ended up losing that game 3-1. And fact 3, if there's any game you want Christian Pulisic to play in, then this is the one, because he scored 5 goals against Crystal Palace, more than any other team he's faced since he's been in the Premier League. So he loves playing against Crystal Palace. I remember he scored a brace in one of the games when we beat them 4-1. He scored when we beat them 4-0, I believe. Yeah. So Graham Potter, if you want to give him, I know that there's a bit of controversy surrounding Christian Pulisic at the moment, but this is the game if you want to play him. If he doesn't score against Crystal Palace, then you know that his form has really dipped. And finally, fact 4, Chelsea have won their last 10 outings against Crystal Palace in all competitions. So yeah, and it's not since they beat us. I think they beat us back-to-back 2-1. I remember once it shocked us when, because that was under Conte. That's the year we won the league title. We were just going on a winning streak. No one was beating us. Out of nowhere at Stamford Bridge, Crystal Palace comes and beats us 2-1. And then the other year that they actually beat us 2-1, they hadn't scored a goal or won a game all season. And then along comes Charity FC, and they beat us 2-1. And Bakayoko scored a header for us, I think, in that game. Yeah. So Chris Coleman, that's the guy who I thought about, the Welsh guy who scored that goal in the mud. Yeah. Anyway, let's go on to the thorn in our side, and this going back to those 2 games that we lost back to back. The last 2 games that we've lost against Crystal Palace, and that's Will Zaha. Zaha scored in both those games. Zaha liked scoring against us. Remember, even when they beat us when we beat them 3-2, Zaha scored that screamer, and he always tends to play well against us. But he was the thorn in our side until a certain Reece James came onto the scene, and since Reece James has come onto the scene and he's been marking Zaha out of the game, he's had him firmly in his back pocket, and he's never been as effective since since he's been. I think sometimes he even tried to go over the other side to avoid Reece James, but Reece James has got his number, so I'm hoping he has his number again on Saturday. So that leads me on to my score predictions. So score predictions for the game against Crystal Palace. I believe that we have to win this one. Come on, guys, we got to get back to winning ways, because we haven't won in 2 games, but none of the games were in the league, but because they're like draws and a defeat in the Champions League. So yeah, hopefully we get back to winning ways against Crystal Palace, and I'm going for a 2-1 Chelsea victory, a narrow 2-1 Chelsea victory. So guys, what do you think, guys? What do you put your score predictions in the comment section below? Have you got any other fond memories of games against Crystal Palace? I'd like to hear what you've got to say as well in the comment section down below. And don't forget, as always, like, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you'll be notified every time I make a new video. And the videos are going to be scarce a bit, because in a week's time, Sunday, I'll be off to Jamaica. I'll be sunning it in Jamaica. So I'll try and make a few videos while I'm out in Jamaica, but I'm trying to get things sorted out before I go to Jamaica. So, videos, I'm hoping to post a few before I go, but, if I don't, you know the reason why. So guys, I'll see you on the next one, and take care and have a good weekend. Bye-bye.